Evening, I'm Erin Burnett. Out front tonight, a woman who told the FBI to look at Donald Trump's connections to Jeffrey Epstein is speaking to Out Front tonight. My guest, Maria Farmer, has accused Epstein of sexual assault. She told investigators twice, once in 1996 and again in 2006, that they should also look into people close to Epstein, which included Trump. Of course, we should note that Trump has not been accused of any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein, and Farmer isn't accusing him either. But Maria does point to a 1995 incident with Trump and Epstein's office that she said made her uncomfortable. And she's going to talk to me about that incident and much more about the relationship between Trump and Epstein in just a moment. So you'll hear from her. And this comes as Republicans are trying to force Trump to release federal records relating to Epstein. 10 House Republicans have now signed on to a bipartisan measure that would help do just that. And if all Democrats support it, which it's expected that they will, then they can force a vote. But the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, is not allowing any Epstein votes right now. In fact, he says a vote will not happen before September at the earliest.
My belief is we need the administration to have the space to do what it is doing. And if further congressional action is necessary or appropriate, then we'll look at that. But I don't think we're at that point right now because we agree with the president.
That is a real kick the can down the road. I mean, it's July. September's a long way away. And that is the same Mike Johnson who just a week ago said this.
We should put everything out there and let the people decide it.
Well, things have changed in a week. But putting things out there, that is what members of his own caucus are demanding still right now. Johnson now, though, is standing in the way. It's important to just point out, though, who are these Republicans who are standing in the way, right? Are these the kind of purpley state? No. These are not anti-Trump Republicans trying to force this vote. In fact, among them is someone who we all know has historically been one of Trump's biggest allies in the House, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. And she has a warning to the president today. She posted on social media, I quote her, "If you tell the base of people who support you deep state treasonous crimes, election interference, blackmail, and rich, powerful, elite, evil cabals, then you must take down every enemy of the people. If not, the base will turn, and there's no going back. Dangling bits of red meat no longer satisfies. They want the whole steak dinner and will accept nothing else." Well, a metaphor which makes a lot of things loud and clear. By the way, she's saying this now, which is important. And I talked about her and Trump, right? This is the same person who has said things like this about Trump.
He's the greatest president this country has ever had.
We trust President Trump.
Absolutely love him. I love him. I have so much faith in him.
He's always so sweet.
I'll vote for President Trump even if he's in prison.
Right? And now she's making it clear the base will turn. Now, Trump is hoping he can distract her and others in his party who are calling for the Epstein documents. Here's how he's doing it. Today, the FBI released records on Martin Luther King Jr. over the family's objections. And Trump is continuing a barrage of social media posts today and all weekend long to get people to run after shiny objects like he weighed in on the Idaho murder sentencing. He railed against cashless bail. He continues on his crusade against Democratic Senator Adam Schiff on falsifying loan documents. He went out in all caps about Samantha Power, asking how did she make all of that money? And then he reposted a fake AI video showing President Obama being arrested in the Oval Office. And there have been multiple tweets about the topic of the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Guardians. They both changed their names, right? The Commanders were the Redskins, the Guardians were the Indians. And Trump has been weighing in on that. This one's interesting. He said the Washington whatever should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins. There's a big clamoring for this. Likewise, the Cleveland Indians. Now, we just point out that it is ironic in light of this tweet sent by Trump all the way back in 2013, after then President Obama had suggested the Redskins should change their name, since it was offensive to some. Trump tweeted at the time, the president should not be telling the Washington Redskins to change their name. Our country has far bigger problems. Focus on them, not nonsense. And perhaps something he could listen to now. Kristen Holmes is out front at the White House. And Kristen, just putting all these things out there, this variety of topics, it's like spaghetti against the wall. And so far, the White House has taken everything related to Epstein, punting it over to the Department of Justice, which is not what many in his base want to hear, as Marjorie Taylor Greene makes so crystal clear. What are you learning?
Yeah, and Aaron, just really quick before we get started, that's right, but President Trump and his chief of staff, Susie Wiles, just walked out from the White House behind me. It was unclear what they were doing, but we saw a heightened security presence behind me. So if you see him again, let me know, because obviously I'm facing you so we can see what it is he's up to. It's really unclear why he's walking around. He's pointing to a bunch of different things on the lawn. When it comes to Epstein, it is so clear President Trump wants to talk about literally anything but the Epstein files. And as you noted, this has been obvious in Truth Social post after Truth Social post. At one point, he was praising Mark Levin's book. At another point, as you said, wading into the conversation over the Washington Commander's name and threatening not to help build the new stadium or to pull out of the deal if they don't change back to the Redskins. He was even weighing in, as you noted, on the Idaho murderer's plea deal. Anything they could do to talk about something else. And we did catch up, a group of reporters caught up with Carolyn Levitt